And cool down to steam, and out here you see all this coolant. And so this is how I knew my car was overheating. My idle was pretty high just from regular starting, so it was up at 2,000 when it should be around just under 1,000. So coolant affects the idle circuits on these cars because the fast idle control valve and idle air control valve, they all have coolant running through them. So usually if the coolant starts getting low, you'll notice that the idle starts getting a little wonky. Sometimes it'll hover a little bit, float, or sometimes it'll stay too high. What I also noticed was I had my heat on and it wasn't getting hot, even though my temperature gauge was saying it was around 180, which is operating temperature. If you don't have one of these gauges, you have your factory gauge back there. Usually it should stay right in the middle. That means operating temperature, and you should be having heat. If you don't have heat, that means there's no coolant circulating, which means you're not going to be getting any hot air coming through. So my symptoms of having no hot heat and high idle, I turned directly to the coolant system on this one. So these cars, anytime you have a leak on these things, you check the radiator first, make sure it's not cracked. When you start seeing leakage in this area, a lot of people jump to, hey, it's your radiator hose or whatever that is covered. Most of the time, what I've been seeing, there's this 90-degree hose that usually goes right underneath the distributor, and it starts to leak because you got a lot of oil usually drips down onto that thing. And hey, we could see the cut right there. Sorry, I'm on my phone. Normally you should change this out. I did this engine swap like 2-3 years ago, and normally you're supposed to change all the hoses, and I didn't, so that's on me. So that's similar. B series, D series, H series, they all seem to always have that one hose that goes back to the heater line. So we'll try to fix it with what we got around here, get us back on the road so we can go to work, order the new part, get it in tomorrow, and then slap it in. So let's see what we can do for today. Get some space here. Let's start by taking off the stupid intake and toothpaste cap. Shabam, it's off. Maybe it's time for a new filter if you got holes and metal wire coming through it. Next step here, we got to get to our hose. So this is where my coolant gauge actually taps into, is a heater line, which you shouldn't, but that's where I put it. So it's got this bend, and that's bend there for the heater line, and it goes into the top of the cylinder head right there in the center of our screen with that clip. So we see where the gash is. We're gonna pull that out. If you haven't done so, drain your coolant. Mine's already everywhere, all over my transmission and engine bay, so the coolant's already pretty out. So we'll yank that out and we'll look at it on the bench. So here's the infamous hose that always breaks. If yours is going to be probably a little bit slightly longer because it's going to go to the heater valve. Mine has a little sensor there for my gauge. So if you're looking at yours might be a little bit longer. That's no worries. This is the side where it connects to the heater valve, and this is the side where it was broken on the cylinder head. So we could see where it's split. Right there, it's split. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say it's temporarily, but I'm thinking it's going to end up being permanent. I like that this has a 90 degree here because this thing's got a 90 degree here. So I'm going to cut this here, and I'm going to stick that side went to the cylinder head, that side went to the heater valve. I'm going to try sticking that on the cylinder head and that on the valve. So let's cut this, and then we'll rotate the clamps around, and we'll try to MacGyver something. All right, so there's a new hose. I got it clamped on here, and if you follow it, it is right there, that center one. Let me move this. That center one right there. So I got it on, that clamps on struggle straight right now, but that'll do for today. That'll last me even a couple days, hell, a couple even weeks, but I'll get the new parts tomorrow, maybe. And we'll also address this air filter probably in a coming up video. You know, I won't even film it. Unless you guys want to see me changing the air filter, let me know down below. So let's slap this back together, put some coolant in it, and I'll show you how to bleed this. So with the coolant topped up here, we're gonna just start the car and turn the heater on. So it needs a little bit of coolant. We're just gonna add in. Real struggle is I only got that much coolant left in here, so I'm all empty. See how it's staying steady right there. I apologize for the engine noise, but the coolant level's there. Sometimes you'll see an air bubble come and get burped up. What you could also do is feel both your radiator hoses. This one's warm, this one's cold. When the thermostat opens, both of them should be warm. That means that we're getting closer to getting our system fully circulated. While that thing's running and bleeding out, I'm just searching around, see how much coolant I got left. I'm all out. I just got oil. And if it comes down to it, I think I pulled this out of my old 65 Impala back in the day. I don't know how old this thing is. Ew, or what's growing on it. I think that's just spray foam. But damn, if it comes down to it, I might have to use this stuff. So we're starting to get some warm air already. It's temperature's right around 150-ish. My temperature gauge is on the outlet of the heater line, so that's not super correct. It should be in the cylinder head, but I was a dummy when I wired that. So this is good indication that we have warm temperature. I know you guys can't feel it, but trust me here, it's nice and warm. So we'll still keep the blower speed on 1. And now we just want to confirm that the thermostat is opening. The lower hose is still a little bit cold, so we'll warm this up. Sometimes you'll have to actually turn the engine off, let it sit for another 5-10 minutes, and then turn it back on and use the same procedure again. But that's just how it is. So guys, she is all bled out. I'm gonna top it up. I'm gonna check the coolant level in the next probably day or two. Driving really helps bleed out coolant, so just add it up if you need a little bit more. It's not gonna need too much after that, but she's all good to go. Not the greatest video today, but you know what? We fixed something without spending money, so I'm happy with that. So I want to know from you guys, what's your weirdest repairs that you guys managed to do, whether it's zip tie something to get you home or type of free repair you managed to figure out yourself without having to run to the parts store and back all day. So your weird repairs down below. If you like this video, please drop a like. If you dig what I do, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later.